Knowing how much you need to bill your customers for their project can take a lot of time and effort. With MYOB Advanced Projects module, you can configure specific billing rules to each customer or project, set retentions for each project, and configure payment claim preferences. This will allow you to run your billing at the click of a button. MYOB supports both types of billing models, be it time and expenses or materials billing, and progress or fixed price billing. Let's look at this project, which is set as a time and expenses billing rule. To save some time on this video, I have already added time and materials transactions to this project. Advanced allows you to generate a pro forma invoice and send it where you need to approve your payment claims before final invoice to the customer. So let's invoice this project. To invoice, I simply click on Run Project Billing button. Advanced will now look at the billing rule and generate a pro forma invoice for the project manager or finance team to review. We can update quantities, values to be invoiced, mark items as write-off or hold from billing them now at this point in time. Once we are happy with it, we can optionally go through internal approval processes before sending it to the customer. Once we have approval from the customer, we can release this to accounts receivable and send the final invoice. If a pro forma invoice is not required for customer approval, the Run Project Billing will create the AR invoice automatically. I will now go into the Project Profitability Inquiry screen, where the project income, expense and profit or loss can be reviewed at a high level. We can drill into the project from here if we want to analyse the detail of the revenue and expense values. From the balancer screen, we can view the transactions. As you can see, running the project billing is a simple process in MYOB Advanced. It is dependent on the configuration of the billing rules. Let's take a look at the setup of the billing rules. You can configure as many combinations of billing rules as your business needs. Again, to save time in this demo, we are looking at the billing rule that has already been configured. This is a time and material rule, which sets different calculations for different expense types. In this case, travel, labour, subbies and services. The formula set in the invoice settings will be used in the billing run to populate the quantities, amounts and descriptions which will be invoiced. You can see in this example that you can assign markup percentages to each expense type, which provides the flexibility you have when manually invoicing. When your company structure has multiple branches and sub-accounts, you are also able to configure how you want the revenue and expenses allocated, whether it be based on the current branch, the billing rule, the project, task, customer or employee. You again are in control and have flexibility rather than being locked into a single rule. The aggregate transactions option enables you to control how you want your invoice to display for your customer or project, whether you want your transactions to group by date, employee, supplier, inventory ID or a combination of these. The choice is yours. The configuration of your billing rules really does help you eliminate the overwhelming task of manually collating project costs. Let's now take a look at the progress or fixed billing. A billing rule is also configured to be used in generating the progress invoice, but it is more about the invoice's description formula rather than quantity and cost calculations. We will now go into a fixed price project. The assignment of the fixed price billing rule is the differentiator to the time and expenses project. Again, to save time in this video, I have created this project, already processed the initial deposit invoice and have some labour and materials expensed to this project. When I go into the Revenue tab, you can see the completed percentage column is set as 20%. I will now process the claim for the next instalment as the project is now at 50% completion. When I enter the 50% in the completed column, the pending invoice amount populates with the 30% value. To invoice, I simply click on Run Project Billing and the invoice is created. As with the time and material invoice, you are able to generate a pro forma to send to your customer for approval prior to completing the final invoice. In this example, however, I have skipped the pro forma stage. With both time and expenses and fixed price projects, a single project is usually invoiced many times and at varying intervals during the life of the project. You can easily see the invoice history for that project in the Invoices tab, where you can further drill into the invoice details. In the invoice examples I have demonstrated, I have generated the invoice from within the project. However, within MYOB Advanced, you can automate the billing process. This billing automation really streamlines your processes to free you up to focus on running profitable projects.